everyone, and welcome back to the Hearthstone Global Games Review. I'm Zoe, and I'm once again joined by the Falcone, and of course we're also going to have a special guest here in the studio today who will help us review the round of 24 of the Hearthstone Global Games. And yeah, with 3 more weeks of intense Hearthstone action, of course there is going to be a lot to talk about.
Today we give a warm welcome to StanCifka, our guest from the Czech Republic. Now, Stan, I've seen that you've been going full King Mukla in this tournament so far. What is it with you and the bananas?
Well, I like bananas. I'm vegetarian. Started at DreamHack Bucharest because when you play the match, it's really important to, increase the blood sugar because if you concentrate. And the only fruit I could get there were bananas. And I won that tournament, and it was my biggest breakthrough. And since then, everyone is really hyped when I get bananas. So, but I like bananas, that's true.
To be fair, though, last time when we had Firebat here, he advised everyone to eat rotten eggs in order to win games. So I really like that approach with the fruit a little bit more.
It sounds more sensible.
Yeah, a little bit.
So Stan, you are known as one of the best lineup builders in the world. How has that helped you out in the Hearthstone Global Games?
Well, I have to say I love Global Games format because you need to get something out of all 9 classes. And sometimes in meta game, it's all about 1 or 2 good decks, especially on ladder. But here, it's all about what you do with classes, not that popular. And that's exactly what I like about Hearthstone, and that's what I love about the Global Games.
So what exactly have you done to take advantage of this format? We've seen some very unique Warlock decks from you.
So I prepared for the match, and I noticed that Israel is picking Paladin a lot into the Ace match. And I felt Warlock has a great potential to take in some cards because it has great hero power. And if you tap, it's more likely that you get these cards. So there are cards like Hungry Crab, which are incredibly efficient against the Paladin. So I just put a lot of hate cards, like Weapon Removal and all the stuff, Blood Bloom and Doom as well. And it simply worked out very well because the Paladin is kind of slower deck and you have a lot of time to get these sweet cards.
Now, let's not forget for a second, Stan is not the only member of the Czech Republic team. There's also Yara, Pokrovac, and Czech Cloud.
Yeah, so if we're looking at your team and the guys who are playing in it, what are the roles and responsibilities? We all assume that you're probably in charge of deck building and that kind of stuff. What are the other guys bringing to the table?
So Yara and Pokrovac are technically incredibly good. They're playing ladder non-stop, and their part is to just control the decisions I make during the game, and very often they just correct me and find a better play. Czech Cloud is a really nice guy, and he's creating really great infrastructure in the team. I'm really thankful for my teammates, and I'm really happy that we mix together, and I hope we're gonna stay longer in this tournament.
If you would have to use one word to describe your team, what would it be?
I would say power.
Power. I like that.
It could be also banana.
Power or banana. I like both.
Yeah.
I think we can work with this at one point or another. Now, in the last show, we had Firebat as a guest, and he seemed very confident, right? He was like, USA is going to take that. Now, we did see the Czech Republic going up against them, and let's just say it didn't quite go their way. Falcone?
There was some interesting things going on both sides. Specifically you with the blindfold. What happened there?
Amnesiac caused a little small drama on Twitter that he told he would be playing better blindfolded than we did in the series versus Israel. And after I managed to beat him second time, I felt it's like a good time to do some a little bit BM, but I don't mean it that way. Amnesiac is a really nice guy, and but sometimes he needs to get his lesson.
And he got his lesson, that's for sure. Now, that was one of the many highlights we definitely had in the Phase 2 of the HCG, and we're going to take a look at all the other highlights that we really enjoyed.
Even the power of the forest couldn't stop China as this team goes from strength to strength, advancing 3-0 to the next stage. July 4th celebrations weren't over for the USA as they advanced to the next stage, beating Israel. By defeating the rest of their group a total of 9-4, you could almost say that the Netherlands never lose. Taiwan were looking strong throughout the entirety of Phase 2, but at the final hurdle, Brazil was able to topple them, advancing to the next stage. Greece were able to defeat Ukraine like a boss, knocking this powerhouse roster down to the tiebreakers. In a close series, Mexico defeated Italy, doing Canada the biggest of favours as they will advance forward in second place of Group F.
So, StanCifka, your ace match against Amnesiac has been yet another rogue mirror match. We've seen quite a lot of those in phase 2. Falcone, what were your general thoughts on the presence of the rogue?
We've seen some rogue decks that haven't been Quest Rogue too. We saw Empezadio win against a Quest Rogue with his Miracle Rogue. He came back against Canada. So it's not just Quest Rogue we've seen, but what's your opinion on Quest Rogue in this tournament?
Like, the Quest Rogue is a very strong deck. It's very difficult to handle for many classes, so I'm really looking forward to see more of the Miracle Rogue, because now the Quest Rogue was kind of in charge, but now it's gonna change.
So one of the many surprises in this tournament for me personally has been Peru. Right? In the round of 48, they really brought it to the table, defeating UK and USA in a very convincing fashion. Falcone, what were your thoughts on that match?
What was really impressive about their performance is that they actually thought they were already out of the tournament at first.
Ardiu's tweet was amazing. Like, he tweeted that they're in, and then suddenly Peru came there instead.
Yeah, like, Ardiu thought it was certain.
But like, it was super surprising that they beat UK, they beat America, so like, it's like shock for everyone, right?
When they played against USA, they thought that it was just, they playing for fun. They didn't think they had a chance. And then they won 3-0. And then they looked at the numbers and thought, hang on a sec, guys, if we win in this way, and if this happens, we might be able to slip too. And then if the UK won a single game, as you said, it would have been Romania going through, but Peru took it away, and they ended up being, I guess, the best underdog and the best comeback performance in stage 1 of the Hearthstone Global Games. This has a sad ending, however, as Peru are now, they've been eliminated in stage 2 as there. So not a happy ending for them, but a very impressive performance to get there.
The casters have been mentioning many a times that there are a lot of weird choices, interesting decks, and will those kind of decks change the meta, you think?
We've seen some surprising things. I definitely think it's something to consider. Stan with the Bloodbloom Warlock is something that may impact the meta, or at least the way that players choose to use Warlock, at least. People are going to pick up some tips from that. We've seen, I think it was Ukraine also tried to use Warlock in a very clever way, and it hasn't quite paid off yet. So we've seen a lot of the same, but when we do see these different decks, they can be very effective.
So StanCifka, you're known to be bringing, let's call them very unique and unorthodox decks into those games. How do people deal with that?
They don't. Like, you know, it's very difficult because you don't have the deck list and you have no clue what's gonna go on. So, like, how do you want to handle it? So, it's something completely different than if you are playing against some stock lists, you know, so.
If you're looking at the other teams in the HCG, which ones do you feel like bring a similar level of experience?
Like, there are many very good teams. Like, we've lost to Ukraine, and there's Colento, there's Neira, there's Hippie. So, like, this team is very good. We played USA, they're also incredibly good. But I also believe that Netherlands is just all-star team at the moment. So, there are many good teams in Global Games.
You did beat the USA. Despite Amnesiac's taunting, you did beat the USA. So I've got to ask you, are the Czech Republic going to win the Hearthstone Global Games?
Yeah, I believe we have very good chance to win the Global Games, yeah. But obviously it's Hearthstone and everyone can win.
Now, Falcone, you've been casting a lot of those matches. Which team do you think has what it takes to actually win the HCG? You don't have to say Czech Republic just because he's sitting here, don't worry.
I don't know,
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. Well, officially, my caster pick is Italy. That's the team that I chose coming into this. Austria is a team that I really enjoy watching. It's great. When me and Sotil casted their game against Russia in stage 1, and they came back, I believe that was a reverse sweep. And because they always play together, there's lots of celebrating, there's lots of high fives, lots of hugging each other, and that's something I enjoy watching on the caster side of things a lot.
Now, unfortunately, we already reached the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us and shedding some insight in your experience during the HCG. And yeah, of course, we will be back to recap the round of 16. And if you've missed any of the matches leading up to it, you can always find them in the link below. So make sure to check out all the action. We're going to see each other again in 2 weeks.
more damage on the board now.
Whoa! NV gonna try and get Sleep with the Fishes here, realizing this is only out.
Yeah.
He gets it! Whoa!
I don't think
He's gonna lose the cleric from this. Dragonfire Potion as well. Okay. Zorkthar's face!
What, he could just steal Aya here
Oh!
if he wants.
He can. Wait. Yeah, he can. Oh my goodness. What is going on? He looks like he's so done with this game. Oh my goodness. No. There's the upgrades.
Yeah, even more health.
Upgrade plus Heroic Strike plus Hero Power. Leroy, you don't beat Heroic Strike, you don't beat Mortal Strike. But you do beat South Sea Deckhand with this play.
I think maybe they would have won if they'd killed it.
Definitely not the necessary Dragonfire Potion, though, as you said. The Song Stealer does its job. Oh, that wouldn't actually have been lethal without the Song Stealer. It's exact with
Right.
it. So if he did use the Song Stealer earlier, which was our first spot,